Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I realized that I have been rambling for the past 1.5 years or however long it has been since the Divine Rose 2 palette was released. What a beautiful summer palette it is to create like fun, bright, bold summer looks that look like, you know, a cocktail on your eyes, and yet I've never actually shared one of those looks with you. So today I'm going to grab my beautiful Divine Rose 2 palette, which without a doubt is my favorite summer palette. I really like my Natasha Denona bronze palette, but I love the variety that the Divine Rose 2 palette gives me, and like all these like bright, punchy, gorgeous summer colors that are packed in here. But before we jump into the eye makeup, I am going to do my base makeup with you. I've already applied my eyeshadow primer and a little bit of my brows, and I'm now going to go immediately with my concealer. I'm not going to put anything like highlighting underneath my eyes as I would usually do, something like the Glow Loss by Auric or the Stroke Cream by MAC, because I've already done my for-year treatment with a very nourishing mask. I put on my SPF day cream over top of that, and I feel like I already have enough glow as it is, so I don't feel the need for anything extra. So I am just going to be applying my First Aid Beauty concealer. It's also the perfect day to share this look with you because it is a glorious summer day that we're having here in the Netherlands after literally a week of thick clouds of grey and rain. It was awful. And I don't want to complain too much because parts of the Netherlands, Germany, Belgium, and now from what it seems like Austria are being flooded and people are dying, and it's pretty horrible. Thank you, global warming. So I don't want to complain too much. It was just a shame because my parents were here, and for all the years that I've been here and of all the times they've been here, they've literally not once experienced like a week of true beautiful summery glorious weather. So it was a shame that they were here for 2 weeks and both weeks were less than optimal weather-wise. But okay, what you gotta do. Next I'm going to grab my Dior Backstage foundation in the shade 2N, and I'm just going to be applying the foundation with my mini base from Sonia G. I am so incredibly happy that I was finally able to score the classic base from the Fusion series as well as a backup of the mini base. I actually bought 2 of the classic base brushes because, as you probably a lot of you have already experienced, especially if you live in Europe, it seems like something has changed with the regulations of Europe within the last few months or so, or even within the last month, because I remember being able to order from Beautylish something in the realm of like $30 to $40, I think it was $35, and it would ship to me for free and I would only have to pay the taxes. And now I put the classic base brush, and I actually originally just wanted to buy the classic base brush twice because I thought if I enjoy the mini base so much, I do think it's actually a great idea for me to have the classic base twice, just so I'm completely covered in terms of like foundation brush that is my favorite. So I decided to add the 2 brushes. I was like rushing to check out because based on the experience that I had with the previous time the Fusion brushes were released, it literally took several minutes for the page to like load my shopping cart and for me to be able to check out, and by that time the brushes were already sold out, so I didn't want to risk that. But and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this time the brushes stuck around a bit longer. They may still even be on the website. I don't know. I think a lot of people went for the Lotus set, and everyone who was like crazy to get the Fusion series already has it. So maybe there's still even brushes from the Fusion series still available. But anyway, the whole point of my story was, as usual, there's no point to my story. I'm just rambling. I'm going to take this Sonia G brush now, the Sculpt 4 brush, and I'm going to use that to bronze and apply my blush. So I was checking out, and as I was checking out, all of a sudden the website asked me for a shipping cost of $20, and I was like, excuse me, are you drunk? What is going on? So I kept like refreshing the page thinking that something is wrong, and then I clicked on the little like question mark next to shipping costs, and I realized that they had changed the rules of the game, because all of a sudden us in Europe, or at least us in the Netherlands, I think it's pretty different for every country as of now. I'm taking my Chanel Soleil Tendre Chanel bronzer now, but it seems like we need to pay shipping on everything that is below the amount of $150. So you need to make a really royal, you need to spend a royal amount of money on Beautylish now to qualify for free shipping, which if you're shopping Stone Edgy brushes you can reach pretty easily. But at that point I only had 2 classic base brushes in my cart and I was like, so now I have to like add another brush or I have to spend $20 on shipping. So I thought I'd rather just get another brush. So I was already debating getting a backup of the mini base, and I knew that Bia was also trying to was also going to be trying to get the classic base brush, and she would be in Spanish class, so she wasn't sure she would have the time to be on the website. So I thought, you know what, worst case scenario, I'm going to send one of the classic base brushes to Bia. I'm going to keep the one classic base and the backup mini base for myself. It will all be fine. So that's exactly what I did. I did purchase a backup of the mini base and classic base twice. One I'm going to give away to my beautiful friend, as I said. And that is why I think I feel more comfortable now just going for the one from the Keyaki set and just using it consistently for foundation, because I just love the finish this brush gives me for foundation. Okay, apparently we're going a bit more subtle with the bronzer today. I realized, like, I watched some videos of mine from like last year in the summer and compared them to videos that I filmed recently, and I feel like I've really started over bronzing and over blushing recently, because my cheeks always look like super bright in my videos recently. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's something I noticed. As blush, I'm going to take this Suku Liquid Shimmer Blush in the shade 03. I don't even know if this is available anymore, and Suku is even more difficult to get for us now in Europe because Selfridges doesn't really ship to the European Union anymore. This is the shade of the blush, by the way. It's a beautiful coral. But if you're on the look for a similar formula and a similar color, you can check out the new release from Lisa Eldridge, because there is a similar color there. They're called Island Glow. I'm going to use the same brush but just flip it on the other side and start to, you know, work the blush onto the cheeks. I love the formula of the Suku blush because it's very much like a gel. Now I will also take whatever is left on my brush and just put it here across the bridge of my nose for a slight bit of that like sunburnt effect. I'm going to grab Divine Rose, the Divine Rose highlighter from Pat McGrath, because I truly feel like this is the perfect highlighter for the look that we are going for today. So I'm just going to grab a tiny bit of that and apply that on my cheekbones. I already have a pretty good idea how the look is going to turn out on my eyes, so I know what I want to put on my lips as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this lip liner from Urban Decay, which is in the shade Big Bang. It's just a hot pink. Next I'm going to apply this shade from MAC. It's one of their cream sheen lipsticks. It's in the shade Speak Louder. It's a gorgeous light, well, not light. It's a warmer leaning pink. I'm not going to apply it to full opacity though. I'm just going to kind of work it as a base for the next product, and the next product is really going to be the highlight of the lips anyway, and this is going to be the Pat McGrath Lip Gloss in the shade Heavy Petal, which is a gorgeous warmer leaning pink. It's basically the same shade as Speak Louder but in a lip gloss form. I'm almost sure my camera is fucking with the color and you're not really able to see the actual true color of this lip gloss, because bright colors always tend to like take on a different hue when I film in natural lighting with my camera. But it is a gorgeous summer in a lip gloss, just like the Divine Rose 2 palette is summer in an eyeshadow palette. So without further ado, let's jump into the eye look. So I'm going to start off the look by dipping into this shade over here. It is the hot pink in the Divine Rose 2 palette that has a little bit of like that really beautiful like satin finish to it, and I really like this shade. I think of all the hot pinks that Pat has made in her palettes, this one ranks in my top 3. I don't know if it's my favorite because I really enjoy the one in the Eternal Eden quad, but this one is definitely a close favorite. It's just such an easy shade to work with, and you can really like apply a very light wash of color of it without it being too overwhelmingly pink. So I'm applying this, by the way, with the Sonia G Worker Pro brush, which is one of those really wonderful brushes that has the potential to both pack color and blend it out. And I'm going to take this color like 2/3 of the way in, but I am going to leave this part free for something fun as well. And then I'm going to start blending this shade up just slightly above my crease, but not too much, because I'm going to apply a bit of the peachy shade to blend it out. I'm going to repeat the same procedure on my other eye. This is the shade in the Divine Rose 2 palette that I use the absolute least, but I recently did a look that I really enjoyed with this eyeshadow, and I wanted to share a little bit how I did that look with you. Maybe you will enjoy it as well, and it will give you a bit more of inspiration to use that hot pink if it's a shade that you usually don't use much. And now basically I'm going to take just a very light fluffy blending brush and just dip very lightly into this shade to slightly blend out the edges. I did not want to start my look with that because I did not want this shade to overtake my crease. I just wanted to lightly blend out the edges of the hot pink with it. And I think for me personally that is the best way to do it in order to prevent not over applying this shade. So what I'm going to do next is go back into the Divine Rose 2 palette, grab this hot pink shade again, but this time I am going to intensify the color only here in the very outer corner of the eye, and I'm not going to bring that in any further. Next I am going to take a little flat shader brush such as this one. This is from Mbrush by Maxineshka, and now I'm going to apply the gorgeous gold shade just dry on my lids as it is in that inner third of the lid right here, without putting that all the way into the inner corner, just to meet up a little bit with the pink shade just here in the inner 1/3 of the lid. It creates a beautiful contrast, and I think it also fits my dress very nicely without me having to do like a full-on gold look, because the previous time I wore this dress I actually did like a more gold and orange base look with this palette, and this time I wanted to go for a little bit of a pink direction because I thought that might be really fun. Then actually using this very same brush, the flat shader brush, but cleaning it really well here on my microfiber cloth, I'm going to take the shade over here, the Skin Show shade, and I'm going to apply that both in my inner tear duct, right here, as well as lightly underneath the brow bone. And now follows what is probably the most fun part of this look, which is the layering of one of the topper shades, in particular this one over here, the Astro shade. I don't remember the name of it, it's just this one, over top of basically everything that's on the lid up till the outer corner. Not so much in the very outer corner, but just like the whole lid, over top of the gold and over top of the pink. And I wore this same look but without the gold the other day, and I just had the pink all over the lid, and I put this shade over top of that with Fix Plus, foiled with Fix Plus, and it just looks so amazingly beautiful that I cannot wait to wear it again. So I'm going to take a pretty generous amount of this shade, just packing it here onto my Sonia G brush. I'm going to take Fix Plus, just give it a nice spritz here, and apply that all over the lid and over top of the pink. It just gives freshness and lightens that pink hue, and I really love the combination of that pink with the topper over it. That is definitely a way for me personally to get more use out of the hot pink, because on its own I just find it a little too harsh on me, but like this, look how beautiful it looks. It's just so stunning. The rest of the look is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to go back into the hot pink shade with this flatter type of brush and just work that right here all the way across the lower lash line. As a final touch, I'm going to take this Kiko eyeshadow stick, the flesh color side of it. You can use literally any flesh color pencil that you have. I'm going to pop it right here into my waterline, and over top of that I'm going to apply again the tiniest bit of the hot pink shade, so this one here in the middle. I'm just going to set the pencil with a hot pink shade, and because of the light base, it's going to lighten the color of the pink and like kind of give it this pearlescence, which I also really enjoy. So, do I look like a cocktail that you would consume on the beach? I think so. I hope you enjoyed this look. I think the lighting during this whole video might have been very questionable because it's the late afternoon and it's not usually the time of the day that I have good lighting to film with. But you know, you gotta take it as it is. Hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought about this look and whether the Divine Rose 2 palette is one of the palettes that you... Give me a minute. Well, you should feel very honored because I put this whole outfit and makeup just for you guys because my coffee date just got cancelled. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about, so... Oh yeah, I was going to ask if the Divine Rose 2 palette is also one of your favorite summer palettes. Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if it's not, let me know which your favorite summer palette is. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!